What's up, everyone? Welcome to Humanity First. My name is Drew,
My name is Cesar.
and we are excited to give you a little bit of information of how this whole podcast series came about, from creating the first AI fact-checking co-host of a podcast series to creating Break Technologies, how that a whole story came about, and what is our connection? How do we know each other, and how do we end up here? So, Cesar, why don't you take us back a little bit and discuss who we are, how we met.
How we met? We can go in chronological order there. That'd be a little bit easier. So let's see. After COVID had ended, I was on the job hunt and I could not get any interviews outside of sales. But thankfully, one of the interviews that I did get was with Drew's office, and he did teach me sales there. It was a great place because it was all over the phone. So I got so much practice in a very short period of time, which was fantastic. But that's where me and Drew first met. He was the owner of the office. He had done great work in sales himself, and then ended up starting his own office. I think how long had you been open when I came on? Like 5 years already, six?
Yeah, so I was about 6 years in. Yeah.
It was about 6 years in when he hired me. And he kind of hired me from what he's told me, off a feeling, off a gut
Yeah, it
feeling. Is
was.
what he.
There was something in my gut that said you gotta hire him.
Which is super crazy because he was like, you were like already overstaffed at that point, had not budgeted to have another person on, and then he just took the chance on me, which is I'm glad he did because I was able to grow and learn very quickly, very rapidly, and really show myself that I could do sales. I always knew it was an area where like you could make some good money, but never really felt like I had the personality for it necessarily. But it's a process. Everything's teachable. There's just a process to it. But that's kind of how we first met there. I worked like 2 years at the office, and then you decided to kind of shut it down and move on to a different opportunity. And that's when we were able to work with a tech startup, which got us into that whole AI space. That's where we got to like start seeing all these AI tools, how it could impact everything, and it just kind of aligned with our vision, right? Neither of us really wanted to be in like, I'm gonna say, for lack of a better term, like these old world companies, the old like corporate grind, like just doing the 9 to 5, retire when you're 60 type thing. Neither of us wanted to do that. And we saw an opportunity with AI where we could kind of just take a chance and go for it. And so we did. One day we were on that walk. We've talked about this before, where you had already had Humanity First podcast started, had filmed a couple episodes, but it didn't quite feel right. I had that idea of the AI fact checking co-host, and you were like, "Dude, that's brilliant. Let's do it." You started like you put up the LLC within a couple of days for Break Technologies. Then as we built out Graice, we're like, all right, integrate this into Humanity First. We'll get all this going. That's kind of how it started. I don't know if you want to add a little bit more there about
Yeah.
how all that went on.
Well, I think giving backstory was really good because we worked together, so we've kind of had a different dynamic. We had employee employer, then we had colleagues, and now we have business partners. So we've been able to work together in different spaces, and it's been cool because we've certainly learned a lot about each other and built some trust, and which led to coming here. And so I guess to fill in a little bit of those gaps, so I had left, was leaving my company in the transition and was advising an AI company, a startup that was based out of Silicon Valley on sales and helping them integrate sales into their processes and systems and really diving in and also learning a lot. I really wanted to take the chance to learn and figure this new technology out. And so I realized that this was a really good opportunity, and Cesar would also be really good at it as well. So talked to the CEO. He needed somebody. We brought Cesar on. That was in January. And as we were diving into this startup, we realized, wow, there is so much technology or so much about this technology that people don't know. And there's also a ton of opportunity here. We should look at possibilities. And so we started to look and we realized we can do this. I had business background. So for me, it just made sense. like Cesar said, we didn't really want to dive into the corporate, hey, he said old world corporate strategy. And that's true. I think that we saw an opportunity within AI and this technology to have a better quality of life and use it in our advantage to grow this business. You mentioned in one of our episodes that we take a lot of walks. That's what kind of a form of meditation, if you will, but we also have some good conversation. And we had a situation in January at the startup where we were just talking and we were walking on the trail, and Cesar's like, why don't we do a consulting company? And I was like, absolutely. So one night we are meeting, hanging out, and he's like, break. So we put it into ChatGPT and come up with break technology or break consulting, which the goal is and still, was and is to help companies, small businesses, integrate automation, AI, customized chatbots into their businesses and also into, like law firms, spas, gyms, wellness centers. We want to help get AI into those spaces. And so we thought, we can do this. Let's build it out. I did all the business planning, got all the documents, everything ready for us. And throughout all this, the conversation kind of naturally happened that we are starting from scratch, creating an AI startup ourselves. We have no previous technology experience, but we've already learned a lot in, a year and some months. And I had this platform with Humanity First. It just made sense that we filmed, documented, and also talked about the impact that humanity would have, or that the impact that AI would have on humanity. And so, with the built-in trust, the years of understanding each other's dynamic, I have an immense respect for Cesar. He is incredibly intelligent, and we work really well together. He's a different Scorpio than I am, and so our minds work differently, but they work really well together. And so we've been able to truly create a platform that we feel is relevant and revolutionary because we need facts. We need the truth, and that was one thing that Cesar really kind of how the fact checking chatbot came into play is his desire for truth, seeking truth and facts. How did I do? Did I miss anything, Cesar?
No, you did touch on something that I'd forgot. Kind of the whole reason we decided to go into break consulting was that we were trying to get AI to like the people, right? We had
Yeah,
seen that AI was kind of going to all these big companies, the ones that had the money to pay for it and develop for it first. And it's like, when is it going to get down to like the masses, right? To everybody else. And then we don't want to have that situation where it's only a small subset of the population knows how to use AI and they're getting to make all the decisions and stuff. And everybody else is kind of like, they don't know what's going on with AI. So having a platform to be able to get AI or the knowledge of AI and its capabilities out to everybody else and not just a small group of people.
absolutely. And also with schools, like we have already tried to figure out what does this look like, and that's part of the conversations of Humanity First, and that's one of the episodes that we will have out in a few weeks. But it's important that as a society we understand the impact and what is about to happen, and it is going to radically change the way we live. And it's important that we start these conversations. It's important that we start to talk about the impact that AI, robotics, quantum computing are going to have on humanity. And so we also want to make sure that as we go through this journey, we are advocating for humanity first. We have a saying at Break, it's AI for scale, human for quality. We truly believe that. And we want to make sure that we work in tandem and parallel with this technology and bring you all along on a journey of hope, that there is shed some light on the possibility while also being factual and realistic and grounded. I think that for us, it's really important to be as authentic as possible. We want to create this journey to showcase what we're doing, but also to learn. And then as we learn, we want to teach, you know, and that's what's so
Yeah,
exciting.
and hopefully inspire other people to do the same.
Absolutely.
A big like idea that we're always talking about is how AI can make like people's dreams kind of come true a little bit faster because now you don't have that big roadblock where I feel like there's a big roadblock and they have to pay for information where now
Yeah.
AI already has the information. You can just utilize it and just start doing what you want to do.
Yeah. It's incredible. And I think I speak for both of us when I say we're very excited and eager to get this platform, Humanity First, off the ground and continue to build on to what we feel is very special. And we know that you will also agree. We feel very confident that this is going to be a massive podcast and a platform to bring people together, to create community, and to inspire others to take the leap, be courageous. It's fun, you know.
Yes, absolutely. It's
Yeah,
it's it's fun. It's a lot of cliff diving.
yeah. It's a lot of a lot of chances. Yeah.
It's fun though. It's fun.
Yeah. And we want to be authentic and raw and real in our series, and so being completely transparent because we are learning and we want to teach as well. One of the reasons that we're doing this video specifically is the platform that we're using to distribute our podcasts out to all the different, like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all of them requires there to be some type of video that's up before you can kind of create your page with the RSS feed. And so for us, this is a test run. This is a trial. We're going to upload it, give a little bit of introduction so people can go ahead and start following and subscribing to the channel. But also, if you're going through this or you're trying to create a podcast and you're using platforms similar to what we are, take our advice, go ahead and film a quick intro to get the connections from the company, the platform, the software that you're using to all of the different platforms that you're going to distribute your podcast on. So, like I said, as we learn, we're going to teach as well because this is a new journey for us, and we want to share all we can with everyone that decides to take this leap and utilize AI.
And hopefully they'll teach us some things.
Please, we are dying to learn. Teach us. You know what? I just want to be roasted. I want somebody to come for me. Is what I want. Teach me the error of my ways. I want to learn. So follow along. Please comment, like, subscribe. We want to hear your ideas. We want to hear your thoughts. We want you to be engaged. And more importantly, we want to build a community. We want to build a community of people to learn, to grow. And this is very exciting because this is just the start for us.
Absolutely.
Well, sir, I don't really have anything else that I would like to discuss other than the fact that we have a really cool podcast series and a lot of really cool episodes coming out. You don't want to miss.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yep. Well, Cesar, if you don't have anything else, enjoy your trip to San Diego and remember when we lift each other up, we all rise.
All right. Take care.
Take care, Cesar. See you, dude.
See ya.